Here from EduTV, and I welcome you all to our another episode on our channel at EduTV, the podcast series by EduTV on the topic Transition from Schools to University, which aims to create meaningful conversation to help students navigate their journey from school education to higher education opportunities across the world. Today's discussion brings together distinguished educational leaders and experts who work very closely with students at critical stages of their academic journey. I'm delighted to welcome Ms. Deepika Sharma, the principal of Maxwell School, Dwarka, New Delhi, India. Welcome to the program, ma'am.
Thank you.
We have with us Mr. Gautam Sarkar, the principal of Aditya Birla Vani Bharati School, Hooghly, West Bengal, India. Welcome, sir.
Namaskar. Thank you.
Joining us all the way from GCC, we have Shivani Kumar, the Director, Admissions and Partnerships at Unihawk, Dubai, and our moderator, Ms. Rachel Money, Senior Admissions Counselor at Unihawk, Dubai. Welcome to the program, Ms. Shivani and Ms. Rachel.
Thank you. Thank you.
Rachel, over to you now. Let's discuss on the important theme for the day.
All right. So thank you so much once again, everyone, for joining. It's a pleasure to meet you all. So let's begin our conversation on the theme of strengthening the journey from schools to universities. So the first question is to Ms. Deepika Sharma. So, ma'am, as a school leader, how do you see schools today preparing students not only academically, but also for the broader expectations of universities and future careers?
Yeah. Thank you for that question, Rachel. I think it's time that we understand that schools are no longer institutions which are preparing students for just education. It is the holistic development which plays a very, very important role so that they are prepared for higher education and for the future industry. So we have to prepare children and make them industry ready. And that task starts in school itself, wherein only academic work with students will not reap us the benefits of the wholesome personality to be developed. So it is more than academics, that a complete set of activities, complete participation at various roles are being practiced with students in the regular curriculum itself. May it be activities which involve entrepreneurship, which involves financial literacy, which may involve collaborative activities out here. So these are being practiced regularly in the school, which are a part which develops their holistic development, and they are ready for the future. For example, preparing of the portfolios of the students class 6 upwards, wherein whatever they are doing throughout the year, activities are noted, the skills which are being developed, amongst which communication is one big and very important drop which needs to be really focused upon for students, because personality development involves communication to be very clear. Clarity of thought and expression. It comes in through various activities that we do in school so that the children develop their confidence and are able to present themselves. Projects which are collaborative projects. So just studying and planning for an examination does not work as strongly as a collaborative project work develops, because they're learning teamwork, they're learning sharing, they're learning how different roles have to be played by different students, and together they have to present a project. Somebody who is focused on research, somebody with data collection, somebody who's going to present the project. So each one knowing their role clearly and learning collaboration, it makes a big impact. Then creativity and innovation is again very important aspect that the schools focus upon, because yes, at the Blooms it is at the top, and it is understood and realized now clearly, and it is a part of the practice that all schools, not only ours, is bringing into practice. So children, when they are identifying problems, maybe in the society, maybe in the nearby zones of the school itself, they tend to create it as a problem statement and find out how it can be addressed and how it can be improved upon. That brings the thought process to be a little inquisitive and invokes the whole class discussion, and the solutions come out at different levels from the class itself. So the problem identified and working, processing that problem to identify a solution, and at times robust solutions are also brought in. So this, as a part of regular activity in the school, is done across. So I believe these small steps, starting from the middle years, reaching to the senior years out here, we're preparing our children ready for the higher education. And I think knowing that aptitude and interest is also mapped for students to see what they're going to pursue ahead in their career makes a lot of difference. Now, the streams are no more defined and confined into science, commerce, and humanities. This has come into global liberal education format, wherein I believe the streams are only divided maybe into science and non-sciences. So somebody who shows an aptitude towards science and non-science, identification of those and reaching to the right college and studying the right course is one more very important aspect that the school plays a role in. And we very, very strongly work on career counseling as well towards these lines. I think so. Two factors. One is developing skills. Second is the right career counseling helps tremendously to prepare our students to move ahead for higher education and for future industries. Thank you.
That's a great point, Ms. Deepika. So, building on that idea, I'd like to hear from Mr. Gautam Sarkar. So, from your experience in school leadership, how important is it to start conversations about university pathways and career choices during the school years?
First of all, good evening to all of you. And thank you once again, EduTV, for giving us this opportunity that where we can speak about things which are, you can say, of most relevance of today's world. Why I'm saying most relevance? Because we deal with students or the age group which are going to be the future matured citizen of this world. Now, I will just take it further from Ma'am Deepika that yes, it is very important to teach them to identify the problem, because what I firmly believe, a problem without a solution is not a problem. It means the moment you identify the problem, it means you will able to identify the solution itself. So in our school, in present days, CBSE, ICSE, or any school, we always try to train them in such a way that first they should have the life skill to understand or to identify the problem. Now they must be a thinker through which they should try to solve the problem. Now solving problem and identifying problem is something through which they will develop a taste. Because what I feel, IQ of an individual varies from his area of interest. Like sometimes we take a test only based on certain things, X, Y, Z, but it may happen that his interest is actually for something totally different. In our school, for this journey from school to university, we try to give them that space where they have the freedom to solve their own problem. And in that process, they develop certain interest. And we play a very, you can say, vital role to give them or anchor them their taste to their profession. Because nowadays in this world, unemployment is not an issue. The issue is unemployability. If you go and find out, if you go and try to find out anything. Even for a school, if I take example of a teacher, if you want to appoint some engineer, if you want to appoint some doctors, you will have people with degrees, but maybe that they are not employable at that standard. What does it mean? It means they got the degree, but then they are not prepared for that particular course. So in our case, what we try, that we give them that platform through various, you can say, art integration, interdisciplinary exposure, industry exposure, university exposure, inter-school competition, exchange programs where they can identify their strength as well as their weaknesses. And when I say about strength and weakness, I mean not only about their career, but also about their life skill. Sometimes that when a child moves from a school to an university, in school everything is like under protection. They are protected. People are like teachers, parents, everybody's around them. But when from school they go to university, they need to do things by their own. So they need to know the life skill. In our activities, in our curriculum, we always try to teach them these life skills where they should get the courage to face the world the way it is. It's not always possible that suppose if I'm very good at maths, that doesn't mean that I will not have communication skill. If I'm very good at physics, it doesn't mean that I will not know chemistry, a basic chemistry. So in a totality, what we give them, we teach them life skill. In totality, what we give them is the courage to face the world. Like from school to university is just not a one more class. Like from class 10, you're going to class 11, and from 12, you're going to university. It's not like that. It's a huge shift in all sense. Because whatever subjects you have taken in class 10, 8, 9, 6, 11, you may not pursue those things in your life. But subject which you choose or if you pursue in university, most probably they will stay with you lifelong. That's secondly, in school, your parents, your teachers are there with you for every small or big things. But in university, you have to take care of yourself. And what I firmly believe, if you don't have that balance, you will never excel in life. Balance means you must know the art of identifying the problem. You must have that much thinker within yourself where you can find a solution to it. And when you move from school to university, you should know how to say no. That is very important. In our school, we can say we always admire or we always accept no from any individual. Suppose if I don't want to do this particular project, we accept it. Fine. If you can't do this, why can't you do this in a very different way? This way. I'm telling you, these things are life skill. And unless or until we don't nurture these things at school level, they will not excel in life. So with our school, like I emphasize more of to be being a human than a machine. To be more, you must be employable. That is more important. You,
I will want to really appreciate Gautam sir.
yeah,
I completely resonate with what you're saying. No is also an answer. We must give that opportunity for the people to express the right thought. And that is why I'm smirking and smiling while you're saying so. I very, very strongly resonate with this. I mean, we need to be really bold and open minded
yeah,
to accept a no as an answer because that gives the right direction to the children ahead. And
absolutely.
just one more thing, I think you very validly added while you were sharing your thoughts.
Yeah,
The subjects that we are choosing are not deciding what we are pursuing ahead, but I believe the complete process, that churning through which a child goes, enhances the problem solving skills in children. So, whatever is coming next, they are able to do. It's not that if we have studied integrations in school, we have to use integration while we are teachers and principals and whatever we're doing out here, we're not using it directly, but somehow the process through which we have understood and we have churned ourselves, somewhere or the other, our problem solving skills have enhanced because of it. It makes a lot of difference. So I just wanted to add because I completely resonate to what you're saying.
yeah. Thank you. Yes.
Yes, that was actually an interesting perspective, Mr. Gautam and
Yeah.
Ms. Deepika. So, following up on that, I'd like to hear from you, Ms. Shivani Kumar, from the perspective of international admissions and university partnerships. What key trends are you currently observing in global higher education opportunities for students?
Thank you, Rachel. Principal Sharma and Principal Sarkar. What lovely insights, honestly. Gives so much direction and clarity to students who need to understand how to approach this this complex route from school to university, the transition itself. Um, I would like to actually pick up a few words that were used in your previous explanations. You use the words identify, you use the words prepare, and UniHawk actually follows an IPA model ourselves. We we look at EIPA, explore, identify, prepare, and achieve. So we help students to identify through an exploration of their innate interests and things that that they discover about themselves that they are good at. And at the same time, they also discover things that may be challenging that they can't overcome in some way. And they switch direction and they pivot. And having said that, it's interesting to see how higher education, and as Principal Sharma very rightly mentioned, things have evolved in such a way that today even the streams that students choose at high school, whether it's commerce, humanities, or sciences, or now that it's evolved into sciences or not sciences, there's so many more avenues and explore and combination of courses that are available today. Computer science may not be or may be a traditional path, but computer science with data analytics or computer science and AI is a whole new combination and permutation. There was a time, like Principal Sharma had mentioned, about so important giving students financial literacy. And that's true. Look at the way finance has evolved. Today, finance is not an isolated program. You combine finance with market risk, even finance and technology called FinTech, a very popular program now. Students' analytical skills developed and honed through different paths. They want to study accounting and finance. They also start exploring accounting, finance, economics, and combining all to look at actuarial sciences as well. So, to answer your question, Rachel, very simply, higher education has seen the way the transition has happened from high school into their programs. Programs have evolved looking at industry requirements, and as such, universities have started getting equipped to deliver programs that are suited with students' interests and also to ensure that they have a more holistic understanding and an understanding of how to apply what they learn at university in the outside world. Thank you.
Rachel,
Rachel, you're on mute.
Okay. Thank you, Shivani. All right. So the next question is to Ms. Deepika. Ma'am, what advice would you offer to students and parents when they begin planning for higher education, particularly in terms of building the right skills and mindset during the school?
I think at present the journey starts from class 9. The aptitude tests should be conducted for all students, and the parents also should be encouraged that an aptitude test be conducted for their child to identify the mapping of their aptitude with their interest. Until and unless we identify moving ahead, the passage or the path is not very clear. So, class 9, in the beginning itself, we must. Now, once it is identified, not that everything can be fixed, but we can work deeply towards it. So that's the right stage. Class 10th should be for stream selection or the subjects which have to be studied ahead. So again, grade wise, when we are preparing ourselves somewhere or the other, we are making our path clear. I'm repeating that. So 10th, we must do a stream selection of what exactly should we study and what should be the right focus. Moving on to class 11th, once you are fixed that these are the subjects that I'm going to study, identification of the courses, the universities or colleges which I have to go to, and what are the future prospects of the course that I want to study. Because at present, because we are moving to this it's an ambiguity which is all around, and somewhere or the other, things are so volatile that whatever we are preparing for today, tomorrow may not exist. So I'm talking about 4 years down the line, somebody who's in class 12, you're talking about careers, and this particular career is not at the height. Maybe there are new careers which are coming ahead. So somewhere or the other, when we are preparing for something that we do not know, so there is a little volatility that I'm talking about. So we have to be knowing that somewhere or the other we are in the right line, and if this will not match, we have more towards it. So a wider perspective of the careers have to be very, very clear. And then class 12, the application processes. This is the university. These are the deadlines, registration, these are the exams, and my complete preparation timeline, because class 12 becomes very crisp with the board examinations as well as the entrance and entry examinations that we have. So somewhere, if the timelines are well defined, probably I don't think there is any problem which can come ahead. So the parents have to be aware, there have to be continuous and regular sensitization sessions on identification of careers, knowing the right aptitude, showing the right interest towards a particular subject and a stream maybe. So all these things, if we school, student and parent are doing it in parallel and bringing in the university people, we must have admission counselors who are visiting to schools regularly. They present their perspectives because they are the ones who are directly in the know-how of the things. So liaisoning with the higher education institutions strongly prepares the school to take their students ahead for higher education.
Thank you so much, Ms. Deepika. All right. Shivani, so for the students considering studying abroad, what are the important factors they should evaluate when selecting a university or study destination?
Um, so, traditionally, higher education for international students sort of ruled in the favor of the US, Canada, Australia, and the UK. These were the most common ones and the most go-to destinations. But over time, over the last 15 years that I've been working with students and seen how things have changed, I think what is more important or most important for a student is to find their right fit. And in order to find the right fit, it could be a multiple or a multitude factors. It could be what is it that they want to do in their long term? What are their life goals? What are their social goals? What are their goals for themselves in terms of the workplace? And looking at all of these, different students would aspire to do different things. Some may want to go abroad for the experience of study abroad and return to their home country and work in the workplace. Some may want to explore multiple destinations and maybe look at Europe because its proximity to all the other countries is so much that it's so easy for them to hop, skip, and jump into different countries while they study. It's a great student experience. Some look at industry. Germany, sought after for technology, supply chain. The US always popular for computer sciences, again, research, development. The UK, very, very well known for its medical health industry and, of course, its other traditional programs. So, your question, Rachel, to answer very clearly is that I see the factors that students should put into place is what they look at to do after they graduate. Is there an opportunity to work while they study at that university in the program? Is there an opportunity to stay back and gain experience? Does the university support them with experiential learning? Canada has a great co-op program. The UK also has placement options. Australia allows students to work up to 40 hours per fortnight. So I think a lot of students need to understand what they want as in a full holistic experience from their education and choose a university that has all of those check boxes: the program, the reputation, the course fee, the living costs, stay back option, work opportunities, and anything else that they desire to plug in that makes them grow as individuals.
Thank you so much, Shivani. That was really good. That was very insightful. All right. Tanya, I have a question for you. So, as the co-founder of EduTV, what inspired the creation of platforms like this podcast? And how do you see EduTV contributing to stronger collaboration between schools and universities globally?
Thank you. Thank you so much for your question, Rachel. All right. So the idea of forming Edu TV was basically we saw that talking to school principals, school leaders, even students at times, we have seen there's a huge gap between schools and the universities at certain domains, talking especially on the transition phase. So, and again, talking about students who graduate from universities to corporate companies, there's again a huge transition gap for them. So the idea was basically to bridge this gap, connect the schools to universities and connect the universities further to the corporates again, so that it's a smoother transition for students. The students get the clarity within the school itself before they graduate into the universities. And so for the students graduating from their universities to entering the different world of corporates, the clarity that they seek should be addressed. So that was the whole idea why we started Edu TV and doing these podcasts where we invite senior people like Deepika ma'am and Gautam sir joined. We have Shivani ma'am with us. The idea was because Shivani can give us an insight about getting into different universities, the clarities the students seek there. And Deepika ma'am, on the other hand, Gautam sir, on the other hand, can help us identify the basic problems that the students come to them for. That these are the issues that we are facing at the school level. So that's the whole idea to form Edu TV.
That's very impressive, Tanya. Whatever you guys are doing, it's really nice. So, I'd like to thank all our distinguished speakers for sharing their valuable insights today. The discussion clearly highlights that the journey from schools to universities is shaped through strong collaboration between educators, institutions, and global education partners. So, yeah, over to you, Tanya.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rachel, for your time. And I think you've moderated the entire session very seamlessly. Thank you. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Deepika ma'am, for your inputs on the subject. I mean, you mentioned a few points when you spoke about the collaboration projects that the students should take up at the school, talking about the portfolio creations, how important is communication at the school level. So I think all these things are something that even the other educators who would watch this episode would definitely benefit out of it. Thank you so much. And thank you, Shivani, for taking out time and joining us at a very short notice. Same goes for you, Deepika ma'am. It was a very short notice for the thing today, the podcast today. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.
Great to you too.